Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to Miss Farah and to all my fellow friends. I am Muhammad Faizzuddin bin Shaharin from ED242-2A. Today, I would like to present my final artwork for ADE475 subject, which refer to my final painting. So to begin with, I would like to use art criticism for my final presentation and for as art medium. Okay, let's start with description, analysis, interpretation, and judgment. Description. The title of this artwork is Trusting Too Much Will Kill You. The size of this artwork is 2 feet times 2 feet. The medium that I use are acrylic painting, which is a water-based painting. Artist reference that I use Nick Muhammad Shazmi and Hishamuddin Abdullah, since these two are the two contemporary painters that mix surrealism and pop culture and pop art. So as for my style, I use surrealism and mix with pop art style. So for the analysis will be elements of art, principle of design. Elements of art can be seen here is line, form, shape, color, and many more. First thing first, we will go with line. Line can be seen, I use the wavy line to create the effect of wavy sea for the surface. And I use line also to give a depth for my painting. And I use line also to use stroke of the line to create a variety of angle and strokes, which it will give highlight to the painting, darkness to the painting, and many more. And line also can be created using a value can be created a value. Then I use shade for my painting. Shade can be seen here is a 2D flat dimension, 2D flat surface I use for surface of the sea, which you can see is just a flat color. Then I use for the chessboard and here. And form is a 3-dimensional form. As you can see here, I use for the robot, the figure, and the sharks, and for the clouds. Since it has highlight and darkness, highlight in darkness and shadow. So for let's move on. Then I use value. As you can see, the highlight of my subject are here, which it can be as form, it can be shown as 2D flat shape as long as it has highlight. As for principles of design, as you can see, I use repetition principles for clouds, which it can be repeated elements, repeated principles for its swivel form and shapes. Then elements of art, as you can see here, I use space, the distance between object, the front object and the back of object. As you can see, I give a depth of front object, which front object appear more bigger than the back object. Then I think that's all. Let's move on to the interpretation. For interpretation, and I forgot to mention in description, and in this painting you can see me reflection of myself I use a reflection of myself to as a subject for this painting. And classical robot, sharks, I use a chessboard to create a surrealism elements, and I added a bit of mixing with monochrome style, and I put a background with a cloud. So for my interpretation, basically this painting referred to political event that happened in our country in Malaysia. Since what can I reflected that political figure, wrong people, when given the power to the wrong people, it will cause a massive destruction to our country and to our society and to our generation, since these wrong people, they are race with each other to find a power, and which they lust for power. That one thing, they lust for power, which the act of their arrogance act, which it will cause destruction to society, and this will lead to destruction to ourselves, our family, kids, society, and me as a reflector. I can't do anything to help those people, which I merely be a bystander rather than helping, since the authority, shark as a authority, doesn't offer any help rather than giving a terrible message and terrible solution. It didn't solve any problem that we ever had. The authority and the robots refer to the political figure that people and political figure built just to just to roast their power and have everything that they want, and living the one that the cause of their act will be the effect of us, and we can't do anything to relate with COVID-19, since it can be related with their election in Sarawak, which caused massive increase in COVID-19 cases. So that's all I think for my final painting. And from what I can see, it is said actually that we have to put faith in wrong people, and we have to suffer the act of their arrogance and their lust for power. And we should always aware and spread awareness to the people to use the power that give to use and responsible to the power given for the right purpose. And for the judgment, it's all up to the viewers. What can they think of my artwork? What can they depict it? And it depend all from you. And duration for my artwork, it took me nearly 8 days to complete it, since I detail it with every object, so it's a bit time consuming for me to giving a bit time consuming for me. I think that's all from me. Okay, this is how my painting look closer. Okay, thank you guys.